So we have this sweet little 10-month-old steer that we got up 2 weeks ago because literally within 3 days, he developed such a bad limp that he was not using that foot at all. Also, the swelling on it wasn't just there at the hoof and the toes, but almost like halfway between his ankle and his knee joint. We tried to treat the infection with 2 different rounds of Zactran. Did improve a little, but not at all, and that is because the infection had went all the way to the bone. So today they are actually going to amputate one of his toes. The infected one is going to bring him so much relief. Come on.
So this is just gonna make him a little sleepy. And then when he's starting to get sleepy, we'll give him an actual shot to make him go to sleep. When I'm almost finished giving him the injection, she's going to immediately let him out of the chute and let him lay down wherever. The goal is to make it all the way in there, but sometimes they make it to like right here. And almost finished, Kelsey's gonna let his head go completely, and he's just gonna walk out with his halter and everything and hopefully lay down. Kelsey's gonna walk you like a little check steer. Yeah.
This is hilarious.
Hey, buddy. Okay. Maybe tie his head right here. Amazing, very sensitive to the body. This is to do a nerve block, so he can't feel much.
Can we get another shot?
Okay.
Right in my mouth.
Feels like something I did.
That hurt.
Good. There's nothing but bristle. The toe, can you do it with the other end? It's nothing but bristle.
It's not bleeding too bad.
Nope. A lot of gauze deep here. It's not. Usually once you take the tourniquet off, it just whoosh. Yep, so I take just a big pile of gauze just for pressure. You'll take your cotton roll and you need to wrap it above the dew claw, otherwise it will slide down. And I just go in some figure eights. You can't pull this stuff, it's so tight. But you pretty much just do the best you can. Just like what I mean, you just pull it right off. But you do make sure you get it above the dew claw so that it stays up. I'm gonna do probably 2 of these. You may only have to do 1 when you change it. Yep, on the end of your gauze. Like my first, I went ahead, I'll show you when we get done, but yep. This is the stuff you try and get tight.
Okay.
And you always leave a little bit of cotton hanging up out top. You don't bring your wrap to the very top ever.
Okay.
Yep, if you bring it all the way to the top, it can get too tight and it can make it swell, which it's gonna be hard to tell on this guy because obviously it's already swollen.
Oh, that's the name of his daddy.
We can get him. This is Exceed to last for 5 days.
Antibiotic.
Yep. And Res4 is another antibiotic that lasts for, this will last for 3 days. Today, I'm gonna try and put a block on his foot so he doesn't ever touch the ground while the other part's healing.
Randy the Farrier. How long did that stay on?
I would love for it to stay on a week or 2.
Then it'll just come off.
Yep. On its own, or they'll wear it down. Hit another cartridge.
I got one on my ring finger. You know, it's around the time whenever I was like, okay, Caleb. And it's my ring briar.
Now when they wake up from the picture like you saw, sometimes they're a little wobbly. Yeah. And he may walk up like he's got some sense. I don't know. Not, but you can see like this is his toe. And whatever he had jabbed it way up in this joint and he was starting to fester infection on the other side. Okay, buddy.
Whenever you get a chance, can I see?
Yeah.
Oh, I won't.
Very rarely do we find something in there. But they have one more joint down in here that's completely covered by the hoof wall.
He has fancy acrylics on.
He does. He sure does. Yeah. Here's some tendons and ligaments that hold. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get to it, but there's the last bone that is down in this joint right here. Oh, here we're getting to it. See where it's all black down in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I see?
Like that's how far it lanced, and the bone is just right under my finger. Like you can't really heal into the joint infection, but whatever it was jabbed down into that very bottom joint where that bone is. It's just black and dead tissue in there.
Is that where it went in?
Something went in there. Like more tissue is going to grow over top of this stuff. So it just kind of fills in and around it. So it will look very bright pink, almost like a cobblestone appearance. And it is very vascular. So if you scrub it or something, you'd be like, oh gosh, this is bleeding a lot. And it's just because all that fresh tissue has such profound blood vessels going to it. So it's regenerating new. And just over time, all that granulation tissue will fill in and around this. And then
He'll be
skin
good.
will grow over.
It's day 2 and our little steer is doing great. We gave him some Poron Banamine for his pain, but honestly, he is putting weight on that foot. Not a lot, but a little. And that's more than he's been able to do in a long time. We will have to change his bandages as soon as it bleeds through. It bled through a little in the very beginning, which is to be expected, but it's not really bled a lot since then. So I went ahead, pressure washed the head catch so that whenever we do have to change the bandages, we can keep it clean. It's day 4 since his surgery. He's doing really good. He's not really bled through the bandages like she thought he might have. But we still need to go ahead and get him up, change it, get some more SSD ointment on there, and wrap him back up again. No, you gotta go the other way. You gotta go the other way. Come on. Look at that, using his foot. Good job. I'm gonna take the harness and put it around his ankle. I'm gonna try to get this foot lifted up so that way it can hold it instead of me, and I can wrap it a whole lot easier. I've got his leg tied here, and then I ran it up to there so it'll hold it for me. He can move it from side to side, but he can't put it down, which is what we want. So we're just gonna start by unwrapping it. Okay, now we've got the gauze. So I am having a lot of trouble where the cotton gauze are wrapped around and they've hardened with the blood. A lot of trouble getting that off. The scissors won't cut through it, so I'm gonna get it wet and see if I can kind of dissolve it off. Okay, the water got it. So let's see what we got in here. And it's pretty icky, but that's to be expected. We'll go ahead and pull it the rest of the way off. Actually, I think it looks pretty good. It doesn't show any signs of being infected. We got some good clotting right there. It's nice and clean. So we're gonna put some SSD ointment on some pads and get him dried and bandaged back up. This is the SSD ointment, and then I've got some square gauze. We're gonna put it on here. I'm just gonna put this directly on where the toe was amputated. Right on there. And then we're gonna secure that with some cotton gauze. We're gonna do neon green. There. Turned out really good. So where I had to spray the water where that blood had formed a cast, I don't want him to stick his foot right back down in that. So I've got some puppy pads I'm just gonna put down. That's good. Looks good. What do you think, little fella? Does it feel any better? He's doing good. So we've had a little bit of trouble getting the steer's toe to dry up. One day he did accidentally kick his bandage off, and that was when we realized that that helped more than anything else that we've done this whole time. So we cleaned it up really good. We put some iodine on it, some more of the SSD ointment, and we just let him out for it to be dry. Today we're gonna get him up, we're gonna clean it off and see what we've got. 5 weeks since the amputation, and honestly, it is looking so good. We've not been wrapping it for about a week now, and it's honestly made such a huge difference. We're just gonna get all of this cleaned up. He is a kicker. What I've been using to clean him up is just some of these square gauze, the 4x4s, and actually some of this pink eye spray by Vetericyn, but if it's gentle enough to use in the eyes, then it's gentle enough to use to clean him off a little. Just gonna spray it a little, even up here where he had the abscess. Clean him up a little. Now that we've got him cleaned off real good, we're gonna go ahead and do an old trick my father-in-law taught me. We're gonna use something that is not necessarily anything you're gonna find in a veterinary handbook or advice you're gonna get from a vet, but this is an old-time remedy for drying up a place like our little steer has. I'm not saying do this. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying this has worked for my father-in-law and his family before there were ever any of these other procedures or medications available to most farmers. You use 50-50 of Clorox and water, and we're just going to spray that right there on the amputated site, and that should not only dry it up but also keep the flies off. We're all done, little man. You did good. I'll have you feeling all brand new, but you're doing great. There you go, friend. Look at how good he's using that foot. Not perfect, but we're walking on it. It's been 3 days since we did the Clorox and water mixture on his toe. He is doing so good walking around on it. He still doesn't put full weight. I would say he's putting maybe about 40% of his weight on that leg, but he's doing fantastic. It's dried up so much better than it was. Just so encouraged. Look at that. How good that has dried up. Wow. That's amazing. 3 days ago, I brought the steer and heifer out here because it was dry. There was only the slightest chance of rain today. So much for that. I'm hoping his foot will still be somewhat dried up, not thoroughly soaked through, because that was our goal. So I'm gonna go ahead and get him up, try to bring him on in. I got him in, but I kind of think the chances of that toe being dry are slim to none. We're gonna get you up and check it out though. Let's go this way. Are you gonna go backwards again? Look at how good he's walking. Wow. I'm gonna take a look down here. It did get wet, but we're gonna look underneath. It's kind of soft right there. I hate that. But it still looks really good. We'll just clean him up a little. I've got to say, and I'm sorry about the rain, but this is the best that his foot has looked, despite being wet, and I really wish that we hadn't have gotten it wet. It is healing so well, finally. I'm not giving medical or veterinary advice here, but I honestly believe that the Clorox mixture that we used last time has been a game changer for his toe. Look at that. That is some healthy tissue forming there. Other than getting it wet, it just seems to be healing so well. So now that we got him cleaned up, we're just going to repeat the process with the bleach because it's working. I'm just going to go ahead and let his foot down out of the harness and he will be done for today. The easiest day that you've had so far, wasn't it, buddy? Yeah. He also does the Aramycin crumbles every day with a little bit of grain. That is the only antibiotic he's on, but he also takes meloxicam as well to help with the pain. Y'all look good. Let's go this way. Oh, don't back up too far. Let's go forward. It's been 7 weeks since they brought this little steer in with his infected toe. Get him up today, take a look at it, and see if maybe he's finally ready to go back out in the field. Such a sweetie. One good thing is he's had a gain of 78 pounds since he's been in here. So that shows he's feeling better. We are healing up really, really good. Okay, so we got his foot up here lifted so we can look at it. That is really healing up well. I don't feel any more soft spots on it. All of this is nice and firm like it should be. It's hardened on up into here, which is good. It doesn't seem to be sensitive anymore. Okay. You look good, boy. Got some fly spray on him, some wormer. We're gonna let him loose. I could not be happier. Look at how good he's walking. Time to start your new life, friends. Come on. There they go. That's what we've been working for, right there.